Thanks for joining us today. This is session 304, getting started with Gemini on Vertex AI. I hope you all have a great time at Next so far. My name is Louis. I'm a product manager for Gemini on Vertex AI.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm PM for Vertex SDK.
So our agenda for today is very simple. I'd like to share three things. The first one is an overview of Gemini, what's new, what's coming this year. And then I'm going to hand it over to Chris. He's going to walk you through a quick journey about how to use our SDK to get started. And he's going to show you some cool demos about the new capability that we bring to Gemini this year. So Gemini is our most capable model that we ever built at Google. We released this model back in December 2023. Since then, we have been keep iterating this model, trying to bring the best quality, best performance to all the developers like you. So you can build amazing applications on top of Gemini. There are three main features, or I would say highlights of Gemini. The first one is multimodal. I think this is one of the things sometimes getting a little bit underrated, because think about how human making decisions and how we form a response. We take all the modalities, right? Like we think about things, we look at the language, we look at images, videos, all these modalities at once. We believe the model should behave in the same manner. So by training the Gemini ground up with all the modality data, so the Gemini can actually understand a very rich context or reasoning task. So today, we're actually making Gemini to take all modality at once. In one single prompt, you can send in audio, video, text, and log. The second is the super optimized serving stack for Gemini. All of you probably know that Google owns the entire stack of serving infrastructure. So we spent a lot of effort to optimize our performance throughout the entire stack, from the TPUs to the frameworks, the serving stack to the API. So we have some great number to share with you on the latency improvement today. And lastly, is we're building Gemini with responsible AI and safety at its core. So we trying to making sure the model can pounce on those bad intent. And at the same time, we're building a lot of tools and guardrails on Vertex AI, so you can deploy this model for your mission-critical workload with high confidence. And in today's keynote, you probably saw the news already. So we are making Gemini 1.5 Pro into public preview. That means everybody can go to the AI console to access the model and play with it. So the model comes with a new mix of expert architecture, and we believe this is a step change in the model performance, and it will bring a lot of new capabilities to unlock new use cases. With 1 million context window, you can process up to 1 hour of videos. Think about, you join a meeting, you have a recording, right? You can just dump the whole meeting recording to Gemini 1.5 Pro, and then ask questions like, help me do a summarization, or who said what at what moment. Right? So these use cases can be unlocked by Gemini 1.5. It also takes up to 11 hours of audios. So this is probably long enough for any podcast that we probably listen to. It also processes 30,000 lines of code. In some of the tests that we are experimenting with developers, they literally just throw the entire GitHub repo into Gemini 1.5 and say, help me, right, be my coding assistant. So we're very excited about this capability because we believe this is just a start. There are a lot of use cases can be unblocked by 1 million context window, and we're super excited to see what the applications you can build on top of this. In addition, we are adding new modalities, right? So Gemini now can hear. We added audio modality, video with audios, and PDF to Gemini models. We also added system instructions and JSON mode to 1.5 Pro, so you can better steer the model behavior and deploy this for function calling and the workflow automations. We also made some great updates for our Gemini 1.0 Pro. We are releasing a new GA stable version, 002, today. So this model have an improved performance in the chat experience, instruction following, and creativity writing. They also have a lot of great improvements on latency, up to 40%. This is a number that we see over our previous version, 0.01. If you're already using 0.01 today, don't worry. We're bringing all these improvements to 0.01 in the coming week. System instruction is also supported for this model. And we also have configurable safety features so that you can adjust different threshold of the safety feature before you send the prompt in. And the amazing thing about this model, it is in GA and is ready for production. We have TPUs, we have accelerator for this model, so you can go into production right away after you're testing it. So these are the updates for the models. I want to steer the gear a little bit to talk about platform. Right? This is something I personally think are overlooked by a lot of people because we always say, hey, company A ship a model and company B ship a model, which model is better? But when we look at enterprise, there are a lot more to that. Right? For a large enterprise, deploy a model is many people's task. Right? It's not just comparing one single model. So we do believe there are a lot of tools that need to be built for generative AI workload. This is why at Vertex, we are building next generation platform for generative AI. So think about how like a developer or data scientist deal with large language model today. So you don't basically start with creating a data set or training a model and then trying to figure out how to go back to the data, right? Because you have so many choices now. With over 130 models in Model Garden, first thing you're probably going to think about is, oh, which model should I use? Right, so there's a discovery problem. So at Vertex, we build this model garden and tools to help you quick select the model. Right, we have a quick experimenting framework and also auto side-by-side, where we use a larger model to rate these model performance. So you have the confidence and the reasoning why model A performs better than model B. Through the prompt gallery, prompt management, and also the tuning framework, you can quickly customize your model and deploy it for production use. Along the way, we have evaluation, monitoring, and governance in place. So you control every single step on this journey. Talking about enterprise, the enterprise readiness is at core of our approach to foundational models. We understand that consumers' use case and enterprise use case are different. So you might deploy some of the models for mission-critical use case, processing business-sensitive informations. So at Vertex, our team building a lot of these security tools and guardrails so that you will be in the driver's seat to control your data, now Google. We also have these features like virtual private cloud, customer encryption keys, and access transparencies, so you can deploy these models with confidence. We have been really fortunate to work with a lot of partners on the Gemini journey. So one of the company startups we work with is Orbi AI. So they are our automation, their startup doing automations for reducing the repeated tasks for people. Right? So they monitor, observe how people are doing their work, and generating this reasoning and a code to automate it. So I'm just quoting their CEO, Bella's word. Vertex AI provides end-to-end model lifecycle management and greatly shorten our time to production time and then the time to market. This diagram, a lot of you probably seen from the keynote this morning as well. This is a survey from Forrester about 3 weeks ago. Right? So this diagram actually capturing how a company actually have the strongest the strategy horizontally, right, and their current offering vertically. So if we look at Google, is at the top right corner, that we actually go even beyond the graph, right? So we have to work a little bit harder to making sure all our great vision gonna land into the product. And so this actually shows Google as a leader position with all the feedbacks you guys provided to Forrester. So thank you very much. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Chris to show you how to get started with Gemini.
Thanks, Louis. So one thing I learned from talking with AI developers is that people want to get started as fast as possible and play around with the model without any hindrance. What we have done is to invest a lot in a Vertex SDK so that journey is as smooth as possible. So if you look, you can get started by importing the library and initializing and starting with just 4 lines. Right? And today, we're announcing GA for SDK support in 4 languages: Python, Node.js, Java, and Go. So we are providing the SDKs in the languages that people are familiar with and they want to use it. And I want to show you just using the Python SDK to see what Gemini 1.5 can do. So some of the functionalities that Louis mentioned earlier, analyzing video and audio, and finding an image in a video, and interacting with PDF. So let's switch over to the demo. Great. OK. And before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to my friends Eric and Holt, who put together this code to basically have this presentation. So thank you guys. Eric, you're sitting right there. Yeah. Thanks, Eric. Let's give him a round of applause. Awesome. All right. So all you have to do is, again, just import the library and provide some information to get started. And let's just say hello. And look at that. Gemini is giving me all the emojis and being friendly and all. All right, so first demo, analyzing a video with an audio. So this is the GIF version of the whole video that you can actually look up on YouTube to, if you're skeptical whether this is made up or not, you can look it up on YouTube yourself. OK, so I'm going to ask Gemini, can you please provide a description of the video? And the description should also contain anything important which people say in the video. All right, so let's run it. And then see if they can capture the important information. So as you can see, the video is captured in Tokyo, and the photographer, his name is Saera. And here we go. So video follows Saeka, Shimada, photographer based in Tokyo, and she explores city at night. And a couple of the key points that are highlighted here. So imagine if you're passing in an hour of video, like what Louis mentioned, like Google Meet or near the video, hey, can you capture a couple important information and give me the summary? This is a very easy way to do that. OK, next up is finding an image in a video with audio. So this is another Pixel behind-the-scenes video that you can go on YouTube. You can search for this text right here. Behind the scenes, Google Pixel SB commercial 2024. And again, you can verify this for yourself. Then this is a GIF version of it. So I'm asking Gemini to find this specific image in the video. And I think this will show up very shortly right here. So it needs to find a specific timestamp and the context. So I'm asking, when is the moment in the image is happening in the video? Provide a timestamp. And what is the context of the moment? And what does the narrator say about it? There we go. And then, again, I verified this myself just to make sure the demo works. It says 49 seconds timestamp. And the context is the narrator describing the story of his short film. And it's actually the director is the narrator of the video. And he's saying how he's a director first and having the blind disability second. And he's making a story about how using the character is getting closer with his girlfriend through using Pixel's capabilities. So pretty amazing. Like if you provide an image and a video, you can find specifically when that's happening and tell you a little bit more about it. OK. Lastly, interacting with PDF. This is a new capability. I don't know about you guys, but I have a ton of work to do and have a lot of documents to read. And especially in the AI world, like there's good AI research papers that come out, and I print them out, right? I print them out, put them on my desk, wanting to read them, and that stack's just getting higher and higher by the minute. So let's just pretend, like my boss tells me, hey, did you see the latest Gemini 1.5 paper? Did you read it? And before I answer, well, I of course did not read it because I didn't have time. But let's ask Gemini before I respond, because you have that, like 5-minute window before you're like too late to respond to your boss. Can you ask Gemini, hey, can you tell me what this PDF is about? Let's be concise, so pretend that like I actually read it. So let's see what Gemini says. I know this is a little bit meta. We're asking Gemini about Gemini paper. There we go. here, PDF details features of Google DeepMind's new language model, Gemini 1.5 Pro, and different informations and whatnot. And I provide this information to my boss, and like, great, it looks like you know what you're talking about. Can you please create a training material for your colleagues so they can learn about it too? Now, I don't know if you have guys done this before, but it takes me at least a day or two to come up with an outline, modules, and kind of make the tone of the training material to fit the audience and whatnot. And again, I got deliverables tomorrow. What am I going to do? Like, this is just additional work. Am I going to just burn the midnight candle, or am I going to ask Gemini for help? Of course, I'm going to ask Gemini for some help. So let's see what Gemini does. Hey, can you create a training material to learn about Gemini 1.5 Pro? And I passed in this prompt and then also the PDF file earlier. And look at that. Gives me the learning objective, and I really like how it breaks down the training into modules, right? So it calls out different points key points of the research paper. Introduction, multimodal capabilities, application, responsible AI, training methods, and blah, blah, right? So I can also give this outline back to my boss for feedback. Hey, what do you think about this outline? Is this pretty good? And then we can probably iterate on it. I feel like one of the key use cases that we can think about using multimodal language is doing stuff like this to improve your productivity, right? When you're under time crunch and you really need to get some help, right? You wish you had an intern. You wish you had a volunteer or somebody that can help you. You can use Gemini for that. And I feel like this is a really great capability that you can use Gemini for. I actually start to use it in my own day job, and it's been pretty great. Okay, so I'm gonna bring back Louis to basically have a recap and then talk about the next steps.
This slide. All right. So we just do a quick recap. So Gemini 1.5, you just see that we are able to process very, very long token files. It supports up to 1 million token. Right? The new modality we added today are audio. Video is audio, and PDF. We have new features like system instructions and function calling with JSON mode, so you can better control the behavior of the model. You can get started with building on top of Gemini with our SDK, as short as 4 lines of code. Definitely, you're going to get to much longer than 4 lines of code in production, but it would be a great start to testing all the features and then expand on top.